Podcast, episode 8. My name is Sarah, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Mrs. B the Knitter. And if you head over to the Ravelry group tab, you can find our group at Mrs. B's Podcast. Please do come and join us and say hello. If you're new to the podcast, thank you so much for popping by and sitting in. And if you're returning, thank you so much for sticking with it. It's been almost a month since I last podcasted. Life just kind of got in the way. There's been a massive period of adjustment at the moment with me starting a new job, so it's just taken a little while for us to kind of get into the ebb and flow of things. And for those of you eagle-eyed around you, yes, I look absolutely shattered. That is because I am absolutely shattered. So I do apologise if I slightly tangent off here and there. My brain is just a little bit tired. So let's start off with what's in my mug. So I'm drinking out of my Star mug. I have my tea strainer, and in my tea strainer I have this English Rose Garden tea from All About Tea in Portsmouth. Black China tea scented with natural rose oil. It is one of the most richly scented teas in the world, lovely without milk and perfect as an afternoon tea. And they're not wrong. It's absolutely gorgeous. Although it's got a lovely rose aroma, it doesn't actually taste a lot of roses because rose can be quite overpowering. I've got it in my tea strainer, and I just have to show you my lovely little tea strainer holder. It's got a lovely little puppy dog in it, and that was a gift at our wedding for me, with a little note saying Simon won't get it. He doesn't drink tea, and he's not a huge dog lover either. You will notice a distinct lack of Hattie in this area. So for those of you who are new to the podcast, Hattie is my little dog, and she is usually sitting on my lap while I podcast. However, it's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day, and she's outside with a chew in the garden, sunbathing and chewing and loving being outside. So unfortunately the light is such that if I go outside to film, you're not going to see anything because it just blows out all the colours. So yeah, Hattie is outside chomping her way through a chew. She may well come and join us a little bit later on. So on to knitting things. Wanted to start with the Keep Calm and Knit Along that I'm running over on the Mrs. B's Ravelry group, and it's to celebrate the Queen's 90th birthday. It is running until the 14th of June, which is her official birthday. The FO thread opened on the 21st of April, not 14th, 21st of April, which is her actual birthday, and we have prizes. Woohoo! Have prizes to show you this week. I've got my notes down here, so if I'm kind of looking down, it's looking at my notes. My brain is very tired, so I'm so sorry. I just wanted to get an episode out there because I thought otherwise this is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be, months down the line, and you'll think I've forgotten all about it, and I haven't. So the Keep Calm and Knit Along is celebrating Queen Elizabeth II's 90th birthday, and to enter, all you have to do is knit something either with British yarn, or with yarn from a British dyer, or in a design from a British designer or UK based designer. So for example, you could knit a design by Mina Phillips, who is a British designer, in yarn from America. You could knit an American pattern or an Australian or New Zealand pattern in yarn that was dyed by a British dyer such as Nora George. You could knit a French pattern in British yarn such as Blacker Yarns or Jamesons of Scotland. Whatever takes your fancy, so long as one of those elements is British and for designers or UK based, then you're absolutely fine to enter. There are going to be a prize bundle for the chatter thread and a prize bundle for the finished object thread. I decided to open it up to UK based designers because you don't know people's nationalities. Their Ravelry location will say United Kingdom. They could be here as a student, they could be here because they're married to a British person, they could be here because they have dual nationality, they could be here just because they like living here. although it rains a lot, although it's not raining a lot at the moment, but it rains a lot. So, you know, I don't want people to be having to email people and go, "Are you British? Can I use your design?" So if they're a British designer or they're UK based, you can use their design, that's not a problem. So, prizes, let's show you some prizes. For our, let's start with the chatter thread. So the chatter thread prizes are all tea themed, because a good cup of tea and a good natter always helps knitting go a little bit faster and a little bit smoother. So we have English afternoon tea bags from All About Tea in Portsmouth. We have a little keep calm and carry on, just plain notebook. Not technically tea themed, but hey hey. We have some little teapot and teacup ribbons from the Boutique Haberdashery in Fareham. Oh, crinkle! We also have this lovely ribbon. I'm going to see if I can get it. Everything stops for, and then there's a little cup. Oh my goodness. And the cup has a little crown in it, which I thought was exceptionally suitable since we're celebrating Queen's birthday. Now, to go along with all these things, there will be a skein of yarn added. That is not going to be added until June, however, because I haven't decided what type of yarn it's going to be yet. But to go along with those, there is this little package. Now, in this little package is a teacup and a teapot stitch marker from of Blythe Spirit on Folksy, who is Alicia. When I opened the package, there was a little note in there saying, well, the Queen couldn't have tea without cake, so I'm including 2 cake stitch markers to go along with the tea themed stitch markers for your prize. So in there is a second little package. So there are 2, and I don't know what the cake looks like. It's going to be a complete surprise, so whoever wins those, I know what the teapot and the teacup look like because I picked them, but the cake is going to be a complete surprise, so fantastic. Some lucky person going to have those, and they come in this cute little bag. So those are the chatter prize threads. The chatter the chatter thread prizes. Oh my goodness. Brain, engage brain. I'm gonna have a sip of tea. Let's get some caffeine on the go, shall we? Like I say, there will be a skein of yarn added to the chatter thread prize bundle as well, but I haven't quite decided exactly what I'm going to add to that yet. Finished object thread prizes. Again, a little bundle. So again, got some tea. English Rose Garden tea bags. So that is the tea bag version of the loose tea that I am currently drinking today. It's super yummy, and I hope whoever wins it really enjoys it. We also have some ribbon from the Boutique Haberdashery. This one says Best of British, and there's 2 meters of each of those ribbons, so plenty enough for you to do lots of fun things with. We also have, ta-da! I'm not going to open it. Whoever the winner is going to get to open this. This is a drawstring project bag from Spinning and Stitching, and if you notice, there's just a little pack of little stitch markers on there as well. So I'm leaving that for the winner to unwrap, but it's very, very pretty. To go along with that, we have a notebook, lots of different famous London streets on it. It's ruled, so plenty of space for either journaling or keeping a knitting journal. a little postcard which I saw in my local shop. I loved it. I just thought it was too cute. And then I bought a little prize from Fondant Fibre. I thought British, rain, it rains a lot, and we have a term called mizzle, and mizzle is where it's not mist and it's not drizzle, because it's not trying to rain that hard, but it's more than mist. You're going to get wet if you go out in mizzle. And she has a fantastic knitter's soap, so it's soap for washing your hand knit garments in, called Mizzle, and I thought perfect. And I've always wanted to try some myself, so I bought some for myself. I bought an extra bar to go as a prize, and Deb, lovely Deb, absolutely made my day. She has sent you guys a skein of yarn to go along in the prize bundle. How pretty is that? Look at all those beautiful pinks. It's coming up quite purple on the screen. I'm going to see if I can get it. But it's lovely kind of vintage rose pinks. It's on her spangle base, which is superwash merino, nylon and stellina. And how perfect is this for a Queen's birthday themed knit along? It's called Ride a White Swan. For those of you in the know, Queen Elizabeth II is the official owner of all the swans in the UK. So, perfect, absolutely perfect. It is definitely more pink than it is coming up on the screen. And whoever wins this is going to be very lucky. So that is our finished objects prize bundle. So I think you'll agree, 2 very nice little bundles of prizes. Little things may or may not get added to them before the closing date in June, but you've got plenty of time to enter. We have our first FO, woo! Well done. A beautiful shawl, so do go over and check it out. Come along, join us, knit something British, help us celebrate the Queen's birthday, and use the hashtag KeepCalmCal, so it's KeepCalmKAL on Instagram, so if you're sharing on Instagram, everyone can see your progress. Alright, end of knit along stuff. Let's have a look at some FOs. My first FO is Invisible. It was a gift for a colleague who left us last month. I very quickly knitted her up a pair of Simple House slippers and then gifted them to her. So I can't show them to you, but I will include a picture somewhere in the podcast, probably at the beginning in the introduction, so you'll have already seen it. Yay! They were knit in Rowan 100% Wool Aran, which is a discontinued yarn. And I just really wish that I'd knitted with it sooner, because it's delicious and it knits like butter, and I want to make a jumper out of it, and you can't get it anymore. And I haven't yet squished Rowan 100% wool worsted, so I don't know if it's the same. If it is, I'm going to make a jumper out of it. If it's not, I'm not. I'm going to find something else. But Annie really liked them. Annie was the vet who was leaving, and she said she's never had anything hand knitted before, so those there we go, new hand knitted slippers for her. And her husband have just bought a new house, hence why they're moving, and she said it will keep her feet nice and toasty next to their open fire. How gorgeous. So that is my first FO. My second FO, yay, it's a Babby Thneed. This is the Baby Vertebrae pattern by Kelly Brooker on Ravelry. Absolutely smushily gorgeous. Now, it is a little bit longer than the pattern called for. I got a bit carried away watching TV one evening, but I think that works quite nicely. It's definitely going to cover baby's bum. This is for a friend whose baby is due anytime from the end of August onwards, and I knit this in the 3 to 6 months, so this is going to be ideal for kind of November, December time, when it's starting to get a little chilly. It's knit out of merino single ply fingering weight from Felt Fusion in the Truffle colourway, and I just think it's rather pretty. and it's really soft, and I just want to supersize it and wear it myself. So I think I'm going to, at some point, knit myself a grown-up vertebrae in single ply because it's squashy and smooth and yummy. And my last FO is a spinning FO. I spun up my Jessica braid from Owl About Yarn, which is a Polwarth and merino mix, and I was going for fingering weight. I'm a lot more consistent than I was. I would say this is sport weight, with some fingering weight in there and a couple of little bits that are definitely DK weight, but it's a lot more consistent. This is what I ended up with. All the pinks and purples. Yum, 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 yum. And again, it's coming out more purple on the screen than it is in real life. Big ball, little ball. Whoa. I did have an idea of what I wanted to knit in these, but I've changed my mind. I started knitting it up and it wasn't working. So these are just going to sit for a little while. I hand wound them. They're nice and squishy. There's not a lot of tension on them. Yeah, really pleased with that. Everything's getting more consistent and nicer on the wheel. So I'm very pleased with that, and it was an absolute gorgeous braid to spin. Absolutely gorgeous. Couldn't recommend it highly enough. Yum yum. Okay, on to works in progress, one of which hasn't had any progress made. A, because I've been at work more, and B, because I'm a huge procrastinator. I get a bit stuck on something and I go, I'll just go into something else. I need to stop doing that. I'm trying to stop doing that. So again, I've got my notes. Right, works in progress. Let's start with a spinning work in progress. So whatever I'm spinning at the time lives in this bag. This is from Spinning and Stitching. And what I am spinning at the moment is from Den of Yarn Equity, which is Felt Fusion. Silvers and Lilacs in Merino Silk. Merino Silk Blend, it's a Tussar silk. And this is part of it. How yummy. Yum, 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 yum. And look at that beautiful silk running through it. This is a whole different ball game to spin. I am learning very quickly that spinning anything with silk in it, whole different ball game to spin. Good learning curve. Enjoying spinning it. I am very much enjoying spinning it. Can't get my words out today. And it is really super soft. Like, I want to sleep in this. I just want to curl up in a ball, surround myself in it, and just have a snooze. It's really soft. It's really yummy. Yeah. I bought that one from her actually last month. It arrived the day after I put up the last podcast, and I've just been smushing it, literally just taking it out of my fibre box and smushing it because it is so soft and so squishy and so lovely. I've spun about 10 grams of it so far. I will post pictures on Instagram as it goes along. I have a feeling this is going to be quite a thick, thin spin because every time I go back to it, I'm like, oh yeah, silk, okay. gotta rethink how I do that. My next work in progress, my 9 to 5 socks. So this was the one that I'd already finished. So twisted rib cuff, top hat, afterthought, thumb joint heel. Not sure if I'm saying all those things in the right order. And then a medium wedge wide toe, I think, is the one where it's got 2 stitches in between the decreases. And this is knit in Supernova from Felt Fusion on the Superwash Merino nylon base with Superwash Merino nylon base Rainbow Mini as the contrast. And I was knitting this on what was I knitting this on? Higher Hires? No, I was knitting this on my Knit Pro Zings. And the join between the cable and the needle is not brilliant. The needle itself is amazing, would quite happily knit on them all day, but I don't like DPNs. I stab myself with them far too frequently. And the cable join, I don't know if I got a Duff cable needle combination, but I just wasn't enjoying it. So it has been transferred across to Knit Pro Symphonies, fixed circulars, 2.5s. I have my line in there for my afterthought heel. Yep, and these are called my 9 to 5 socks because I take them to work in this gorgeous bag from Luli on Etsy, who is Shop Luli on Etsy. Absolutely gorgeous. It's just the perfect size. I can just slip it over my arm, have a little knit during lunch break, and then pop them back, and it just fits in my locker at work so nicely. They're called my 9 to 5 socks because they are being knit for me to wear at work, and I'm knitting them at work as well as sometimes at home. We have a Hattie monkey. Hello. You say hello. Oh, you smell of chew. You smell of meaty chew. So Hattie says hi. Hi everybody. You're licking your lips. You greedy little beggar. Have you eaten it all already? Have you eaten it all already? Gosh, anyone would think I don't feed her. Okay, next work in progress. Has had absolutely no progress made on it whatsoever. Haven't even opened the bag. It's a lovely bag from Knit and Stitch Bits with my Kitchener keyring from Rosie's Moments. Love my Kitchener keyring. Really should put it on my sock bag. The Love of Spiders shawl. I've literally done nothing on it. So, literally done nothing on it. I need to start, I'm up to starting the 4th repeat of this bit of the pattern. I have a mistake to go back and fix over here. I got myself a little flustered. I went, can't deal with that. I'll go procrastinate on something else. And everything's just been a bit too busy, and I've just been a bit too tired to go back to it, knowing that I have to fix that mistake, and I will need to think about that mistake as I fix it. And my brain just going, no, can't possibly think about that. Just no, go find something else. So that is being knit up. The dark yarn is Deep Space, and the multicoloured yarn Shot Through the Heart, both by Felt Fusion, on the merino, nylon and stellina fingering weight base. I really want to wear it. I really want to get it done. I'm in no hurry. It's fine. It can wait. I missed the deadline for both of the Harry Potter cows, which I was knitting it up for, both in the Knitting Broomstick podcast and inside number 23, but I really don't mind. It's a lovely project. It will get finished. I know it's just being scrunched, but it's a lovely project. It will get finished, just not quite yet. And Hattie's gone off, had a drink, and taken herself right back out to the garden. So maybe she hasn't finished that chew. I hope she hasn't finished that chew, because that was a big chew. In my other Knit and Stitch Bits project bag, lovely Happy Colours, is a project that had been on the needles since August 2015, and I decided it needed some love. And it is the Twisted Trails hoodie, which is by Lisa Ross on Ravelry, and this is how far I have got. So it's a bottom up raglan hoodie, and this cable that runs up the front then splits to go around the rim of the hoodie. Last time when I picked it up again, I had gotten to here. So I'd knit the sleeves and I'd done that much on the body. I've now done that much on the body. I need to tink back a single row, because I messed up the decreases. I luckily don't have to tink back the cable, I just have to tink back to this sleeve. I missed the decreases on the sleeves, so I need to go back and just do those. I'm just wondering, did I miss them on the... Oh, I think I might have missed them on the other side as well. Hang on. I have to tink back across the cable. Pants. Never mind, I will do it. It's fine. It's a good learning curve for me. So there we go. That's going to be a cute little hoodie for a friend's little boy. And that is being knit out of Wendy wool, or Wendy wool Aran. The notes are on my project page on Ravelry. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired. So tired. I literally had no sleep last night. And that is not an exaggeration. I have now been awake for more than 24 hours. Thanks to my darling dog, which is not her fault, but oh my word, so tired. Okay, and my final work in progress that I want to show you is a shawl that I am designing. I was inspired. I started watching Outlander, and I can see why people really like it. It's got some good stuff in it and some interesting characters, but I can take it or leave it. It's entertaining, but I can take it or leave it. However, I did really like some of the aesthetics, especially in the beginning of season 1. I would say the beginning of season 1 is my favourite bits. As it goes on, it becomes less compelling for me, I think. But I was very much inspired, and really enjoyed the aesthetics of Scotland in the 1700s. Yeah, good stuff. And I had some Cornish tin from Blacker Yarns left over, which had originally been an exploration station, which I completely frogged. I'd almost finished it and I completely frogged it. I just wasn't feeling the love for it. Great pattern, just wrong yarn for the wrong pattern. So I had the blue, the green, and the red. And I am creating a shawl. So this is just going to be I can't hold it up and fit it all in. This is just going to be the body of the shawl, and this lovely textured stitch, which I think really fits the wool nicely. It's a slightly rustic yarn, and I wanted something that was very kind of practical but pretty. So it's mainly the blue and the green together, then with these red bits running through, and then there's going to be a lace section at the bottom and a border. So I've just been having fun playing around with that, doing shawl maths, which is interesting because my brain doesn't like maths, and I'm learning a lot about shawl architecture. My increase is on this side nice and loose, my increase is just here on this side a little bit tighter, which is just squiffing it, which I'm hoping I can sort out with blocking. I'm certainly not going to undo it and redo it. I like it too much just the way it is. But yeah, this is the start of my shawl design. So nice and simple but interesting for me anyway to knit, and I will let you know how that gets on. And that is being housed in a little project bag that I picked up in the Little French Meadow sale, which pulls up like this. Whee! And it's got these lovely camper vans on it, and it's just perfect really for this project because I'd used the yarn before and in the exploration station, which has lots of little kind of different bits. I have all these random like small balls of stuff left over, and rather than have them all kind of sitting really compactly in a slightly smaller bag, they all just hang out in the bottom of this, and my shawl just sits on top, and my yarns actually don't get tangled with each other, which is good. They're currently getting tangled with the handle of the bag, but yeah, super cute, yay! And I'm really pleased with how the design process is going. I've actually got another 2 shawl designs that are currently in the maths stage of working out whether or not they're actually going to work, and I've been swatching. This one's going to be triangular, one of them's a crescent and one of them's a semicircle. So I will keep you updated as to how that goes. Okay, new things. Several new things. As I mentioned earlier, I treated myself to some knitter's soap from Fondant Fibre, and I got one in Mizzle and one in Mahogany, and the Mizzle smells really fresh and summery, which Mizzle happens all year round, but you don't really want something to smell of cold damp, which is what it smells like in winter. This smells like just, you know, when rain's just fallen and there's still a little mist of rain coming down, but it smells all fresh in the summer. That's what that smells like. And this one, Mahogany, is more subtle, and it's kind of figgy, with just a little hint of citrus. Sorry, I'm just going to have a podcast of me sniffing things. But yeah, so those were a little treat to myself, because I'm finding I'm making more hand knit things that I'm then keeping, and also I'm knitting more things as gifts, and I want to send them away smelling really nice to their new homes, and I also want them smelling really nice if they're staying in my home, sitting in my drawer. Yay! Other new things. A friend of mine, Alison, hello Alison, hello, very kindly bought me a ticket to a local yarn shop. We're having a Bergère de France event, so their representative was coming in and talking through the summer collection and everything, and I think it was £5 a ticket, and you got a croissant and tea and the summer catalogue, which has all the patterns in, which retails I think for about £7, and there was a voucher. You could use your ticket as a £5 off voucher, and Alison very kindly bought me a ticket, and that was to Handmade Studios in Rowlands Castle, which sounds like it's a castle, and it is, but there's also a village called Rowlands Castle next to the castle. So the yarn shop is not in the castle, it's in the village. And we went there and we had a lovely day, and I picked up some sock yarn. This is the Bergère de France Gumi 50, and this is the Emprunt Beige. I'm trying to pronounce it properly, probably not. I thought this reminded me of Strawberries and Cream, and I thought that would be lovely for summer socks. Strawberries and Cream, yay! And then to do some contrast heel toes, I couldn't quite decide between Emprunt Rose and Emprunt Prune, and I thought this one, strawberries, oh, but this one kind of blackberry sorbet, oh, couldn't decide. So I bought them to all go together. I think they look nice together. I think they're going to make some fun socks, yay! And I got £5 off with my ticket, which was lovely. Yay! I know there's lots of ums and yays in this podcast. I'm so sorry. I will get my brain in gear for the next one. Oh, we've got a Hattie. We've got a Hattie. Hello, monkey. What have you been up to? Okay, you have a snoozy there on my lap. That's fine. I took a trip for National Yarn Shop Day, which was last Saturday, the last Saturday of April, I took a trip to the Boutique Haberdashery in Fareham, which is one of my local yarn shops, which is quite nice. I have more than one. It is my favourite one. And I bought a skein of their yarn. So they have just started dyeing their own yarn. 80% merino superwash, 20% nylon, 100 grams, approximately 500 metres. And this is a lovely kind of variegated beiges with a little hint of brown. That is to go with the other skein that I bought from them on my birthday, and I'm going to make a 2-coloured shawl out of it. I couldn't quite find anything in my stash that went with the other one, and I just thought this would be ideal. I am going to a wedding at the beginning of June, and I think maybe this with the other one as the accent, the darker one as the accent, this might be a nice wedding shawl, wedding guest shawl. What do you guys think? I don't know. I think that might be quite nice. I just don't want it to look too kind of bridal party-ish. I want it to be quite quite wedding guest, not wedding party member. But it's an outside wedding in Norway, on an island in a fjord, so it could be quite chilly. We have all been told, do not wear high heels, wear your welly boots. It might be sunny, it could be rainy, and if you're wearing high heels, no one's coming to rescue you. So yeah, I want something quite large and cosy, so I thought the 2 skeins with almost 500 metres in each could make quite a large, cosy kind of shawl. So yeah, so that was for National Yarn Shop Day. I also, the lovely Deb from Fondant Fibre, not only did she send a skein, which let's see if, now the lights change, see now look, that is the more the colours, it's pinky. So this is the skein that she sent as a prize for the Keep Calm knit along, and she very kindly, thank you so much Deb, put in a skein for me. So this is her Potter base superwash Polwarth, and it's called Liberty, and look how scrummy is that. Oh, yum. It kind of matches my top today. I think that would go quite nicely. And it's so squish. Another one, you just go for a little snoozy. Yum. So thank you so much Deb. Thank you. Really, yesterday was a long day at work. It was a long day. It's been a long week at work that was preceded by a long week at work, and thank you. This has just been one of those little moments and one of those little things that has just gone, oh, there is goodness and light and amazingness in the world. So thank you very much Deb. I'm going to find something very special to do with that. Absolutely gorgeous. You are a master of dyeing. So thank you. Other new things, quite a lot of new things this time around, but then a lot of them arrived, a couple of things arrived kind of a couple of days after the last podcast, and the Bergère de France event was about a week afterwards, so some of these have been sitting waiting for me to film them so that they can become something. I got the Peter Rabbit box from Rosie's Moments on Etsy, and you guys wait for this, look, ta-da, how cute is that? This yarn is called Peter Rabbit, and it's got lovely little really vintage feel dusky pinks with this beautiful blue through it. It is 20% superfine alpaca, 60% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and I want to create a bath of it and just lie in it and snuggle it and wrap it around myself, and I want it to be the biggest super massive squishiest garter shawl ever because I just want it to hug me. This is an amazing yarn, it's so soft. And as ever, Rosie put together a fantastic box to go with it the gummy sweetie carrots got eaten on the day it arrived. I shared them with Simon, so I didn't eat them all myself. I shared them with Simon, but they were really yummy. And in there, a little bookmark, a little soap in the shape of a bunny rabbit, a lovely little rice paper detail, which is not going to be eaten. It's going to be stuck somewhere nice. Handmade soap, honey and carrot, rough cut, lovely. Smells yummy. It's got carrot, coconut, olive, shea butter, organic honey. Yum, 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 yum. It does have palm oil in as well, which I tried to steer clear of things that have got palm oil in and tried to go for things that are more kind of coconut oil based and everything. But I do understand that it, you know, people give you things with it in. It came in a box with it in, and whilst I may not have chosen it myself, I will quite happily use it. Thank you very much. It smells delicious. There's a couple of lovely little stitch markers and progress keepers in there. I think one of them is a scissors keeper. So a little, oh, let me turn it around. I'm on fingers and thumbs and no words today. Little bunny rabbit hopping over the moon. So cute. And then a couple of little stitch markers, which I'm sure we all recognise. Oh, when he's turned the right way round. Mr. Peter Rabbit and Mr. McGregor's trowel. Very cute, super, super cute. They always come in these cute little bags and attached to a safety pin so you can't lose them. Thank you. Thank you, Rosie. A postcard. Beatrix Potter illustration postcard and some bunny rabbit buttons. And these are one of my favourite flowers stock. Can't have them in the house because they make me sneeze, but these are going out in the garden. I love them. They're amazing. They smell delicious. They attract the bees. We have bees who live in the very small hedge just outside the front of our house, and I'm always saying to the people who manage the front of the houses around here, you know, don't cut it back too much. Cut it so that we're not getting scratched by it when we come up to the front door, but can you leave as much as you can there? I think it's Mahonia. We've got loads of bees who are always there, like all year round. There's buzzing coming from there. They're definitely not wasps, they're definitely not hornets, they definitely are bees, and I can't wait to plant these up. And I think what I might do is get a little pot, like kind of a long pot, and plant these out the front of the house and just encourage more of the bees. So fantastic. How delightful is that? And also in there was a lovely sock pattern called Footprints in the Snow, designed by Fiona Hamilton McLaren. Absolutely gorgeous, based on bunny footprints being left in the snow, but I have decided that I am going to save that pattern for a different yarn and another day, and I am indeed going to turn this skein of scrummy, good, huggy yumminess into a shawl. Yay! And I love that Rosie always sends her yarn with a little sachet of lavender to keep them nice and fresh, and they all smell yummy, and I always like to just tuck it into the middle of my skein. And my last nice things are all fibre. So along with the Felt Fusion fibre that I'm currently spinning, the Merino and Tussar silk, I also bought at the same time from her, and again arrived at the same time, a couple of days after the last podcast, I bought this braid. How nice is that? It's called Primary. It's 100% superwash merino, and it reminded me of superheroes. Like, I don't know, like, do you guys see that as well? I just thought superhero. Woohoo! I'm gonna spin me a superhero. And it's so soft and it's so lovely, and it's really, she always does a fantastic job with dyeing. So yeah, so that one will get spun up at some point. I also bought a braid from Sarah's. Now, everyone's been calling it Sarah's Texture Craft, but she spells her name the same way I spell my name, and my name is Sarah, S-A-R-A, not Sarah, and Sarah is traditionally spelled S-A-R-A-H. She spells her name S-A-R-A, and I don't know whether she's a Sarah or a Sarah, as everyone has been kind of calling her when they've been speaking about her. So I think she has a podcast, so I think I'm going to go watch her podcast and find out if she's a fellow Sarah or if she's a Sarah. But this is from her colour club, second quarter. So every quarter a new colourway comes out, and there are 2 fibre colourways and I think 3 or 4 yarn colourways that come out inspired by a particular thing. I think this one, if I remember correctly, is textile design, and this is inspired by Amy Butler. So if you Google Amy Butler textile design, you will see the inspiration for this, and this is just yummy, super yummy. This is British Blueface Leicester, and I'm wondering whether or not, once I've spun this up, these two would go nicely together and maybe we make a 2-colour shawl. What do you guys think? I just think it's pretty and I want to play with it. Which is half the reason us knitters and spinners buy things, right? Because we just go, oh, that's pretty, I want to play with it. And then my last nice thing to show you this time, I signed up, some slots opened up on Hilltop Clouds Time Travellers Club, and I love Hilltop Clouds fibre, and the first ever spinning kit I got was from Hilltop Cloud, and it was all British fibre with a beautiful spindle, absolutely gorgeous. And so the slot opened up in her Time Travellers Club, so I've got to get in there. So the April one was my first month. I know that everyone's received their things now, so I don't mind showing it to you. It's called Wild Apple. It is inspired by Bohustikning, which is a company in Sweden, very known for making very particular yoked sweaters, or jumpers, as I call them. And this is just, don't know if you can see it properly through the, it's called Wild Apple, and it's lovely kind of deep greens, burnt oranges, rosy kind of deep reds, and it is 12.5% bamboo, 25% Shetland, and 62.5% merino. So I haven't even opened it yet to smush it. I wanted to show you guys. I will be opening it to smush it very soon. I want to finish spinning my merino and tassel silk, and then I'll decide which one of my braids or my packs to spin next. So we got there, we got through. Breathe. Is everyone still with me? I don't know. I hope you are. I'm so sorry, this one has been a bit of a kind of meander through things. My brain is just so tired. We've been so busy at work. It just seems to have been, the past 2 weeks just seem to have been emergency and catastrophe, one after another, and but it just seems to be that the past couple of weeks there's just been lots of things going on. And we lost one of our vets when she moved, and our new vet now doesn't start until the middle of May, so we're kind of a man down. Yeah, so lots of stuff going on, which has just meant that, you know, priorities have been sleeping, spending time obviously with Simon and Hattie, and just kind of chilling out at the end of the day. So I haven't had much time for podcasting. However, I'm going to try and go back to podcasting every 2 weeks, because that's the schedule that I want to get into. So I will hopefully see you again in 2 weeks. Final little bit to say is that I finished it. I finished it, yay! It was my bedtime reading, and it was just brilliant to go along with Clara on her adventures. It's amazing where knitting can take you, and it's so much fun to hear all her stories that she has, and I can't if you like travel, if you like knitting, if you like just hearing people's stories, if you like laughing, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Go and check out Clara Park's Knitlandia. Since I finished that, when I am of a mind to read before bed and I'm not just falling into bed into a coma, I have just started Throne of Glass by Sarah Maas. My pronunciation of things is awful. I think I'm even pronouncing pronunciation wrong. I've got a wonderful bookmark of Tissue, which I'm going to replace with my Peter Rabbit bookmark now that I've shown it to you. I'm about halfway through. I think this would be described as young adult or new adult. It's definitely a fantasy genre. I'm quite enjoying it. I don't have to think about it too much, so it's good bedtime reading. This is very entertaining and fun and uplifting, and it makes me go to bed smiling. This is definitely more mindless reading, but it's enjoyable, and I'm rooting for the heroine, even though she's not really a heroine. You kind of want to not like her, but you do. So that is it from me for this episode. I'm just gonna do it in a oneer, probably not going to edit very much, just stick on some photos and some video at the end. Hattie and I went down to the beach for the last day of April. It was the last day that dogs were allowed on our local beach now until the end of September, so they have a summer ban on dogs at our local beach. Quite understandably, it gets very, very busy, and not all dog owners are responsible and pick up after their dogs, so I can completely understand why the council don't want loads of dogs down there in summer. So we went for a walk on the 30th of April down to the beach to make the most of it, enjoy the sunshine, have a run around, and what I might do is just pop the little video of that on the end for you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye!